We are coming to you on the air to bring you the latest after a shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins High School on the south side of Dallas. Dallas ISD Superintendent Stephanie Elizalde at the podium.
Questions. I do have team members with me that may be able to answer a few more. I want to make sure that we're clear. We never want to provide any information that jeopardizes an investigation. So please be patient with us. This is a very, very, very hard day today. And I'm standing here with more than just a heavy heart. And I know that we have a speaker behind us, but it is more important that we focus on ensuring that all of our families are reunified with all of their loved students inside. So I'm not going to stop that process for a moment for me to visit with you all, and I hope you all understand that. We did have a student shot today in the leg in a classroom setting by another student. And individuals in that classroom, namely the adult teacher in that room, helped us avoid additional tragedy. This is absolutely unacceptable and unimaginable, but it is happening across schools in America. I know that everyone has many questions. I have those questions. I have those very same questions that you all are going to want to ask us that we are still working on. Thankfully, our student is in the care of professionals and it is a non-life-threatening injury. That should never be a normal statement that should come from a superintendent. I shouldn't be saying, and the student has a non-life-threatening injury. I refuse to say that we will normalize these behaviors. I refuse. And I hope that everyone joins me, as everyone here who is supporting us at this time understands this can never become acceptable. We can and we must eradicate these types of situations. We must all come to grips with the fact that the solution is a collective responsibility. This is not something that a school can individually do. It is not something a neighborhood can individually do. We must work together. Educators, parents, community members, and advocates, we must all come together and center around the issue that we must provide services and resources to our communities who all need them. I'm deeply, deeply grateful for the first responders who mobilized, starting with our Dallas ISD Police Department, the Dallas Police Department, the Hutchins Police Department, Dallas Fire and Rescue, and our incredible school staff who within minutes secured this facility. I also want to acknowledge, of course, our Dallas ISD trustees. I'll introduce one of our trustees from this community who's here with me as well, Trustee Maxie Johnson. We also have Mayor of Wilmer here, Sheila Petta, and State Representative, of course, Carl Sherman, who all came out to support and to help us as we work through this unification process. This investigation is in fact ongoing, and our Dallas ISD Chief of Police, Albert Martinez, will be able to take a few questions. I have instructed him to explore every single option to evaluate our vulnerabilities and how we can mitigate these so that this does not happen again. When families send their children to school, just as I have sent mine to school, they should not have to worry about the safety of their children. I take that very seriously. We have work to do. And so I also want to thank our parents, for they have been tremendously understanding and patient through this process. I would not rush the unification process. We had to do it correctly. We had to ensure we were providing mental health support right in the moment as parents were coming for their students. I know that we are a strong and resilient community, and we will come together. I know we will heal. I know we will grow. I know we will get better. And yet, I have heard my colleagues and I say these words too many times. It cannot be the normal response. So I would like to make my statements in Spanish, and then I'll take a few questions. Estoy aquí con un corazón muy pesado. Esto es el peor pesadilla de un superintendente y de un padre. Un estudiante recibió
Superintendent Stephanie Elizalde and her reaction to this morning's school shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins High School there in the south side of Dallas. In her update, though, she does mention that a student was shot in the leg while that student was inside the classroom. The suspect, she says, is another student. She also mentioned that the teacher who was in the room acted quickly to avoid additional tragedy. We're waiting for more details on that. The student who was shot, though, did sustain non-life-threatening injuries. There was only one person shot and injured during the shooting this morning at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. Police have the suspect, who again is a student. They have that suspect in custody. This scene is still very active. Crews are there combing through the classrooms to make sure everything, all their evidence is in hand. Students were released to their parents a little more than an hour ago. Parents were notified of the situation at around 11 o'clock this morning. The first phone call came in to dispatch and to 911 at around 10:30 this morning. And we watched live here on NBC5 as first responders got to the scene within minutes, and they transported one victim, to the hospital while they assessed the situation. The school remained on lockdown for between 2 to 3 hours. Students inside told to stay in their classrooms while parents were in communication outside with police, Dallas ISD police, as well as Dallas police on the situation that was unfolding in front of them. You are looking at some video that we shot earlier this morning of the campus as police kept everyone in place, situated, while they investigated the scene. Roads around the school, I should say, were closed for hours. Roads barricaded to avoid any additional access to the school. Parents were told to remain in place and not come to the school, but many managed to park and make their way up there on foot to talk to first responders and police about what was happening. And here's some video of earlier parents gathering outside, hoping for some information, hoping to be reunited with their child as soon as possible. But again, Dallas ISD Superintendent Stephanie Elizalde is giving some reaction to that shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins this morning. Just to repeat, one student was shot. That student, as she has told us, was in a classroom and was shot in the leg. That injury is said to be non-life-threatening. That student was transported to the hospital afterwards. The suspect is a student as well. We don't know any information about that suspect. We don't know what grade, what age, boy, girl. We know nothing yet. We are awaiting those details as police continue their investigation. But we are now going to go back to the superintendent to hear her words.
Compassion and courage. And I am thankful to be a member of that team. I'll take just a couple of questions and then I'll turn it over to our team who are far more informed on this. And then some of the members here with me may also want to be making a statement. So let me take just a couple of questions. Robin, will you help me?
And I know you may say this may be a question for the chief, but when you say, was the gun recovered? How did the gun,
Yeah, the weapon has been recovered.
Is the person in custody?
The person is in custody.
Dr. Elizalde, we've heard there are metal detectors here. Can you tell us if that's true, and if so, how the gun got inside?
So that is obviously the question I have that I don't have an answer for with regard to how did the gun get inside. We do have metal detectors. They were in use today. We know that there are vulnerabilities. There are so many entrances to schools. So that's one of the areas that the chief will be working with the school to identify those vulnerabilities.
Where did the shooting happen? What area of the school?
I don't know the actual location, but it was a classroom, a small classroom setting.
Will you guys reevaluate your guys' security measures?
Oh, we will absolutely. Our chief will lead an after-action study and report lessons learned so that we can share those practices with our other campuses as well. Again, in an effort to stay proactive, we must use this tragedy to learn something and ensure that we don't wait for something else to occur.
What did the teacher do to help calm the situation?
The teacher is a very humble individual, and he was able to direct the student away from the campus so that he could take care of, first, the injured student, and secondly, to ensure that the alleged suspect did not enter into the rest of the school building. So that's why I know how much more was avoided, because he was directed away from the school.
Where was the suspect captured? And I think it was the ISD police that took him into custody.
Yeah, I'll turn that one over to Chief Martinez.
Both of them were students of the school? Both of them? Both of them were students?
Both are students at this school.
Sorry, what was your question, Rebecca?
Where did y'all capture him? And it was your officers that took him into custody?
We had assistance from Dallas Police Department. They were here as well. As the superintendent mentioned, there were other agencies here. But the student or the shooter was captured back over in the stadium area. Officer saw him and contained, and then he surrendered.
Do y'all know what led up to this? What caused the shooting?
No, man, right now we don't know motive. But we'll certainly look into that to establish why.
What type of gun?
I do not know. It's not a rifle. It's basically a handgun.
Can you, tell us a little bit of the timeline, at what time you called, you arrived, what happened when you arrived? Can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
I don't have the exact timeline, but it was sometime after 10. I can tell you I was just pulling up coming from our administrative headquarters. I had just pulled up to the police headquarters when the call came out. So about 6 of us were coming down the freeway. We got here, Dallas Fire Rescue had already set up their active shooter command post. They did a tremendous job. We had Hutchins PD help us out, and I would say we were here from the time of the call, maybe 7-8 minutes. But there were already officers here, already tending to the victim.
So it happened in a separate building, but a classroom, right?
No, sir. It is in this building, in the classroom.
Chief, can you talk about what measures you guys have already taken to try to make these schools safer? I understand you have this swipe in, you've got all these safety measures already.
Right, it was already mentioned there are metal detectors. We're complying with House Bill 3 where we're checking doors, we're making sure they're locked. We do our own internal audits. The TEA has come out and done audits. Our Office of Emergency Management has done audits, as well as our school safety, the resources monitoring have also done audits. So, and even internally, the campuses have their own security teams doing the same thing. So along with all of this as well is constant monitoring. We have the cameras, which we're going to utilize to determine exactly what was asked. How did this come about? So we'll reach out to resources. I don't have to call Chief Garcia to ask him for any help, but I've already reached out with Texas DPS was here as well, so I've already reached out to them. We will reutilize our state resources. The FBI has already called as well. So whatever resources we need to examine and really analyze those videos, we will, to determine how this came about.
Chief, did this student have a disciplinary?
I don't know, sir, but we probably won't even get into that. Again, it's contained to those 2 students for whatever reason.
Some of the parents have been telling me that the metal detectors aren't working, and that's most of the time that the students don't use the metal detectors, and they put their bags around so they don't get checked.
We'll look into that. We'll see that on video, but also the expectation on that, if for some reason it's malfunctioning, There are other alternatives that we use through our school monitors, our security teams, to use wands as well to examine them. But we'll look into that.
I don't know if I misunderstood, but you said that the two students, it was something between those two students.
As far as we can tell, because of the incident, we think it's between those two students, but we'll find out.
Can you give the ages and/or classes of those students?
I believe both may be adult age, being 17 and older, but I don't know their exact age or class.
Were there other weapons besides the gun?
Not that I know of.
How was the apprehension process and where that happened? Encounter, how was that?
We just captured him out near the stadium in the back on the west side of the school. But as far as how that took place, I don't know.
Was he trying to escape, like running or something?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. Just one shot. What part of the leg?
Just on the upper thigh, as far as we know, sir.
Anything else? Otherwise, in Spanish? Did you need a couple of questions in Spanish answered? You're good?
Okay. I just wanted to go ahead and. So I would like to take a moment now and turn this over to our Board of Trustees, Maxie Johnson, who is a representative of this community. Trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Superintendent.
We have been listening to Dallas ISD school representatives as well as DISD police give us the latest information on the school shooting this morning at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. And here's what we now know. The student who was shot, the single victim in the shooting this morning, suffered a non-life-threatening injury, a gunshot to the leg. That student was taken to the hospital shortly after the incident. The suspect, we understand, is another student. That suspect was captured in the area of the stadium behind the high school, and the weapon, according to police, was a handgun. Something else that they pointed out, the teacher in the room, they call him a hero for his actions. In order to avoid additional tragedy, they say that the teacher was able to direct the suspected shooter away from campus, out of the building, so that that teacher could take care of the injured student, as well as make sure that the alleged suspect didn't enter any other spaces inside the building. That teacher being hailed a hero. The superintendent says that she is obviously deeply grateful for the first responders and the staff who secured the scene within minutes, but she did emphasize student safety is their #1 priority and that she and the district have work to do in light of today and to make sure that this doesn't happen again. We are going to have a lot more reaction coming up at 4 o'clock from officials as well as parents, but we now return you to regular programming.